Coming to you from the 91 Sports Network studio, Western New England's voice for sports. Your host, Marquez Lopez.
It's same show, same host, and same underperforming Boston Red Sox, unfortunately. Welcome back to the 91 Sports Network show. Thank you for tuning back in with me. It's been 4 weeks. I'm happy to be back. But things just haven't changed. Not at all for the Boston Red Sox. I mean, is there any team in Major League Baseball who is worse at communicating injuries than the Boston Red Sox right now? I mean, truthfully, is any team worse? You got Garrett Crochet, right, this whole situation. Just days after facing live hitters early last week for the first time in his rehab. Yesterday, they come out, which goes completely against what they said the day before, which was good news about Crochet. But yesterday, they come out and say Crochet experienced a minor, quote-unquote, setback, and now has to stop throwing. I mean, this team continues to downplay this injury. I mean, from the start. And now so is Crochet. Crochet himself said he hates calling it a setback. Fine. But if your return date gets pushed back even one start, that's literally a setback by definition, right? I mean, this entire IL stint has been a setback as far as I'm concerned. It started as what was called a minor injury with a 10-day designation. Said this injury was not that serious. Okay? But we're well over a month now that Crochet has been on the IL. And he can't get through 5 live at-bats without feeling some discomfort and having a setback. I mean, is this injury more serious than they're letting on? I think it is. I mean, it seems like it. Are they keeping secrets? I mean, why is everything so mysterious with this Boston Red Sox team? I don't get it. You know, then you have the Roman Anthony situation, right? Last week, Sam Kennedy goes on with WEEI, and he rejected Greg Hill's report that Roman had suffered a torn ligament in his ring finger, I believe. So when asked about it, Sam Kennedy rejected that and called it a sprain. He said there was no tear. He said that testing showed no tear. Okay, then Roman Anthony had to go set the record straight, go to the media himself, and confirm that it was, in fact, a partial tear of a ligament in that ring finger. Okay? He clearly didn't like the way the organization was framing it as a simple injury or maybe making Roman look soft. He doesn't want to look soft, so he had to get in front of it. You know, and then on the radio, they brought on this doctor who essentially came on and said, a sprain is a tear. It's just a less serious word for it. It's usually a partial tear. That is what a sprain is. And that is what Roman Anthony has. How does Sam Kennedy not know this? I mean, it's one of two things, right? It's either Sam Kennedy and the ownership group don't know the difference between a partial tear and a sprain, which it seems like there isn't one, or they're purposefully just trying to pass blame onto anybody they can other than themselves. It's crazy. You know, as always, as you see, the Red Sox are just an absolute disaster when it comes to player relations. And it's just been like this for way too damn long. You know, then you got to ask yourself, right? What's next for the Boston Red Sox right now on June 1st? It's got to be a fire sale, right? I think so. This team can't hold on to hope, and they shouldn't. I mean, we shouldn't. We need to let go. This season is over, y'all. It's over. And you already know this. I know it hurts. I know it stings. But this season's done. And even if by some divine miracle, okay, the Boston Red Sox somehow happen to sneak into the postseason, by some divine miracle, with that last wild card spot in what is a historically bad American League this year, they're not going to do anything with that berth anyways. You think this team has a shot? Even if they made it, it would be unentertaining baseball, as it's been all season long. You know what I'd rather they start doing now? It's sell. Okay? It's sell. They need to sell. They need to add what they can. They need to subtract what they should. Okay, they can't let this thing ride out and end up with nothing. We've seen this movie before, right? You remember Xander Bogaerts? And listen, we have the assets, which is crazy. We have a ton of assets for a team that's this bad. It almost doesn't make sense. How do we have so many tradable pieces, yet we're one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball? It doesn't make sense. There's something wrong here. First on the chopping block for me is Aroldis Chapman. All right, and we thought that happened already with the I don't know what they called it on the broadcast, hug alert. He's in the bullpen, he's hugging everybody, and they caught that on TV. But apparently he does that every game. So that was a nothing burger. But first, Aroldis Chapman is the first guy that we should trade, and he'd bring back a great return. He's been one of the best closers in baseball for the last few years. He's a future Hall of Famer. Okay, for a team making a playoff push, this is the guy you want, and you're going to give up something to get him. Okay, second is Sonny Gray. You know what? We give him a 2-year deal. He's making about $25 a year. He's pitching very well. And he's fielding his position pretty well, too. All right, somebody like Sonny Gray is going to bring back a good return. All right, because he is a 2-year guy. Then you got Jarren Duran, would be my third guy to go. He's heating up, right? We saw that batting average get into the 200s now, which means his value may finally be rising. So the Red Sox have to take advantage of that, right? We got 3 guys right there that the Red Sox can bring in some very good prospects or maybe help fill some holes in this team for the future. Okay? They're even trying to get Masataka Yoshida in the game more. He's been playing a lot, and they have to play him. And you want to know why? So that they can get him on the field and rebuild his value. That's great. They need to do it. Trade him. Even if all you get for him is payroll relief. Get him out of here. I mean, even IKF, even Isaiah Kiner-Falefa can bring back a return. As a utility player right now, he's hitting what? Over 310 and about 75 at-bats? I mean, these are 5 guys that the Red Sox could trade right now and get some return for them. Why would we hold on to these assets and let it ride and get nothing for it? I mean, I don't put anything past Craig Breslow. It very well could happen, but we can't live in la-la land no more. We need to sell. The season's over. It hurts me to say it, and I'm sorry, but the season's over. So sell. And the Red Sox have tradable assets, as you see, as I've said. So trade them. Okay, trade them. Load up and build a damn roster that's actually meant to win where it matters most for the Boston Red Sox. And that's Fenway Park. Okay? Because this roster was not built to win at home, which still blows my mind. Okay, the Red Sox play 81 games a year at Fenway. 81 games. And they currently have one of the worst records at home in all of Major League Baseball. They're 9-19 as of today. Okay, and this isn't a ballpark where tickets are amongst the most expensive in the league. So are concessions. Okay, going to a Red Sox game is an extremely expensive night out. Yet the Red Sox can't pull a win out of their ass if they tried. It's crazy to me. This logic is crazy to me. It baffles me that the Fenway Sports Group, right, an ownership group worth over $7 billion, can hire a chief baseball officer like Craig Breslow, okay, and allow him to construct a roster that is not built to win at the venue that generates most of your profits. How does he have a job? It is still mind-blowing to me. For a team that repeatedly fails operationally, this may be the biggest, and I mean it, the biggest oversight by this ownership group since the Mookie Betts negotiations. Honestly. Okay, the Red Sox front office has become a sterile corporate analytics type first engine. Okay? There's no soul. There's no personality. There's no feel for the game. They don't get it. They're so caught up in spreadsheets and analytics that they have no idea what baseball is anymore. It's like they're playing MLB The Show. It's embarrassing. Oh my God. It is such a dumpster fire organization right now. And you know what? Eventually Craig Breslow will be gone. Okay? And that'll make what? 3 GMs in the last 10 years? I mean, at some point, right, the common denominator isn't the general manager. So who is it? It's ownership. And they suck. The entire direction of this franchise, financially and operationally, just has not worked. All right. And I don't understand how they don't see it. Or they must, and they just don't care. And that's what makes me angry. I mean, even Theo Epstein, arguably the greatest executive in baseball history, hell, the greatest GM in all of sports history as far as I'm concerned, and now advisor and part owner of the Boston Red Sox, even he has expressed concern about how deeply analytical this front office is and all of their failures. Even Theo Epstein is critical of this. Guys, my message remains the same, and it'll be the same all season. It'll be the same, quite frankly, until something changes, until ownership cares more about winning than maximizing their profit. Until then, nothing changes for me. John Henry needs to sell the team, and Craig Breslow needs to go. Okay, since 2019, and honestly, for much of the period between 2014 and 2017, the Red Sox leadership has been negligent. They've been a detriment to the organization, not a positive force. The Red Sox need new leadership from top to bottom and everything in between. And where it hurts me, man, is I just don't think they're ever going to get it. They're just never going to get it. And we're cursed again. Here's to another 86-year drought. I can feel it in my bones, and it's just sickening. It disgusts me. Anyways, the Red Sox head into today, Monday, on an off day, after a 2-game win streak versus the Guardians. Don't get fooled. Don't get excited. Because they pick back up play on Tuesday at home versus the Orioles, which leads off a 9-game home stretch versus much of the American League East, including the Orioles, Yankees, and Rays. The Red Sox are currently 3 games back of the final wild card in the American League and are 12 games back of the Rays top the American League East. Okay, now let's talk A.J. Brown to the Patriots. All right, as of 4 p.m. today, June 1st, the Philadelphia Eagles can and will very likely move on from A.J. Brown. All right, and everyone says the Patriots are the surefire trade partner. And when everyone includes the national people like Adam Schefter, you kind of take it as reported, right? And when you look at the contract, I mean, A.J. Brown is exactly the kind of player that the Patriots should be willing to pay for. Truthfully, I mean, no matter the cost, honestly, even if compensation ends up being a first and a second or more than what the Broncos gave up for Jalen Waddle or more than what the Bills gave up for DJ Moore, regardless, the Patriots have to make this deal. And you know what? They will. Listen, his cap hits over the next 4 seasons are incredibly manageable, for a player of his caliber. Truthfully, I mean, in fact, just to kind of give you an example, Alex Pierce, who just got his payday this offseason, has a higher cap number than A.J. Brown in 3 of the next 4 years. And now let me ask you, is Pierce and Brown one of the same? No shot. It's not even close, okay? Listen, whatever it takes, the Patriots have to get it done. All right? I know he'll be 32 at the end of his contract. Okay, but 32 isn't old, guys. All right? Some guy, he's 29, and some people are calling him old. That's not old. At least I hope not. I'm almost 35, okay? And these are elite athletes. They can't possibly be aging worse than I am. I mean, Devontae Adams caught 14 touchdowns last season at, 33 years old? Steph Diggs put up over 1,000 yards at 32 years old last year. Keenan Allen, what was he, 33, 34 last year? Caught 81 passes for 750 yards. Okay? A.J. Brown's not old, and he won't be old at the end of his contract either. You're getting a prime A.J. Brown. I mean, this is an absolute no-brainer for this New England Patriots team. A no-brainer. And another no-brainer for them is extending Christian Gonzalez. Okay? You shouldn't think twice about this one, honestly. I mean, I guess you could think a little bit because of the injury history, but listen, you have to secure your stars, especially the ones you draft. All right? Now, reports are Christian Gonzalez does want to reset the cornerback market, which was already reset by Trent McDuffie. So Gonzalez is going for broke here, and you know what? He should. I mean, he's the face of the defense, and talent-wise, he's worth every penny, honestly. If he's on the field, he's worth every penny. But the Patriots do have concerns about his health. I get it. He's missed some time and availability matters. But regardless, this is a risk you have to take. Do not take a page out of the Boston Red Sox playbook here. Sign your guys. Okay? Don't burn down that bridge. Take the risk. Pay your guy. Trust your scouting department that scouted him in Oregon. Okay, trust the coaches in the front office who decided to draft him. Trust the coaches who are coaching him every single day. Trust them. This is a risk you have to take. Don't let this stretch out. Okay? And I got to say this because the Patriots do this. The Patriots have traditionally avoided setting the market at premium positions, especially with guys that they've drafted. Okay, the last time they really did it was back in 2012 with Gronk, and that's at the tight end position. That's not really a premium position, especially not back in 2012. I mean, in order for the Patriots to extend Christian Gonzalez, they're going to have to get uncomfortable and break that trend. And Gonzalez is elite, and he's young. Okay, and he plays a premium position, so you're going to have to pay him. You got to pay the guy. All right, and he's also the only guy who showed up at the Super Bowl. Literally the only guy who decided to go out there and play. Listen, the Patriots kicked off OTAs on Tuesday. There's 9 sessions running through June 11th, and then mandatory minicamp starts on June 15th. And right now, Christian Gonzalez is holding out. At least that's what Marcus Jones said. And it's going to be that way, honestly, until he gets an extension. So let's not sour this relationship. All right? And let's get this deal done and make this holdout short. All right, now we're going to close it out a little bit different today. We don't have much Celtics. We don't have much Bruins. Okay? We didn't have much New England representation in the college softball playoff bracket or the college baseball World Series. All right, so we're going to close it out a little bit different. And we're doing it this way because I just can't get this movie out of my head. I can't. Over the past week, I saw 2 movies in theaters. All right, first was Obsession, and second was The Backrooms. And we'll start with The Backrooms. It was weird. It was a weird movie. Not bad. Not a terrible movie, but definitely not a great movie. I didn't hate it, but I really didn't enjoy it either. It was a weird dynamic. It was actually kind of goofy. But maybe that's the point of that movie, and maybe it just went over my head. But overall, I recommend waiting for it to come out on streaming platforms. But the movie Obsession, on the other hand, have y'all seen this movie yet? Because honestly, it might be the best horror movie I've seen in decades. And that's not just recency bias. Okay, the film has already made over $100 million on what was a $750,000 budget. It made bank. This was a horror movie. Don't forget. All right, during its second week, it outpaced major studio releases like The Mandalorian and Grogu. All right, thanks to entirely almost word of mouth. Okay, the director of this movie, he's only 26 years old. And you know what I just read? He signed an 8-figure deal for an upcoming movie he hasn't even written yet. It's crazy. Listen, that alone should tell you something. And if it doesn't, take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, and it's got a 96%. All right, the movie Obsession is twisted. It's unsettling, and it's actually quite scary at some points. All right? I saw it alone in the movie theaters, and it was one of the best movie experiences I've ever had. All right, there's so many moments where you're sitting there thinking, like, what the fuck? I mean, it was the wildest ride I've ever had in a movie theater, at least in recent memory. Listen, if you haven't seen it, you should. All right, and if you don't, honestly, that's your loss. But I don't think I've ever experienced a horror movie in a theater quite like the one I experienced in Obsession. Indy Navarrete is the lead female star who plays Nikki in the movie. She should truthfully win an Oscar. Okay, and the movie itself should be up for Best Picture too at the Academy Awards. I mean, and listen, this is a horror movie we're talking about. Okay, it is an incredible movie. And if there's anything that you do for yourself this week, this weekend, any date that you go on, any free time that you have, please don't watch the Boston Red Sox. Go to the movies and watch Obsession. Well, that's about all I got for you today. Thank you all for coming back. I know it's been a few weeks, but thank you. Thank you all for tuning back in. I had a ton of fun preparing and recording for what is now my 10th episode of the 91 Sports Network show, guys. I'm truly thankful for you all, and I'm really looking forward to recording the next 10. 91 out.